Hello everyone, myself Shamila Arodia. Today we will discuss about Fraunhofer diffraction at double slit. In our last video we have discussed the Fraunhofer diffraction due to single slit. Now suppose a plane wavefront of monochromatic light of wavelength lambda be incident normally on the plane of these slits. Okay, L is the convex lens and O is a point on the screen equidistant from the point A and D. O is a point such that this is equidistant from the rays coming from A and D. So the rays coming from A and D have zero path difference in reaching this point. So this is bright point. There is a bright fringe at this point. Now undifracted light is focused using a convex lens L, and the point O corresponds to the central maxima. All the secondary wave traveling in a direction Q with O dash making an angle theta with O dash are focused at point Q on the screen, and suppose O is x distance apart from Q. Distance between O and Q is x. O is the center point on the screen and Q is any other point which is x distance apart from the O, on which we have to find the intensity or amplitude. Now there are two slits placed in front of a source of light, and we know if two slits are placed in front of a source of light, these two slits are behave like a coherent sources. Okay, so here interference fringe pattern is also observed because slit S1 and S2 are behave as two coherent sources. So there are interference fringes are also present. So the resultant diffraction pattern in double slit is formed due to the interference phenomena due to secondary waves coming from the corresponding points of the two slits. Now corresponding points are what? Suppose A is width of the slit. Okay, small a is the width of slit and small b is the distance between two slit. Then any 2 point having a distance of a plus b, any 2 points having a distance of a plus b are called corresponding points, and wave coming from any two corresponding points of the two slit, okay, create a interference pattern. And second is the diffraction phenomena due to secondary wave coming from two slits individually. Okay, so there are two type of fringe pattern. One is from interference and second is from diffraction. Now first of all we have discussed interference maxima and minima. Let the secondary waves be traveling along a direction theta with the direction of incident wave. Okay. Now the intensity at any point Q will depend upon the path difference between the waves from two slits diffracted at an angle theta. At any point, if we have to find the intensity or maxima or minima, then we have to find the path difference between two rays reaching at this point. Okay, so first of all we have to find path difference. Now consider the triangle ACE. From the triangle ACE we have sin theta is equal to CE by by a plus b. We have to find the path difference between the rays coming from A and C. A and C are two corresponding points. Okay, so we have to find the path difference between the rays coming from A and C. And here CE is the path difference between these two rays. CE is the path difference. So we have from triangle ACE. From the triangle ACE, okay, CE is equal to A plus B sine theta. Okay, this is the path difference between the rays coming from A and C. And we know in case of interference, if path difference is equal to n lambda, if path difference is equal to n lambda, then this is the condition for bright fringe, condition for maximum. And if this is equal to odd integral multiple of 2n plus 1 lambda by 2, this is the condition for minima. In case of interference, this is the condition for maxima and this is the condition for minima. So we have A plus B sine theta is equal to n lambda. This is the condition for bright fringe or maximum. And A plus B sine theta is equal to 2n plus 1 lambda by 2. This is the condition for interference minima, where n is equal to any integral value 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. Okay. Now the directions for minima and maxima for interference fringes are given by, for general case we can write this is theta n. Okay. Now the direction for maxima sine theta n is equal to n lambda by A plus B. This is the direction of maximum. This is the equation of maximum intensity. And for minima, sine theta n is equal to 2n plus 1 lambda by 2 by A plus B. Okay. Thus the angular width between the two conjunctive minima. This is the equation for minima. So angular to find the angular width between the conjunctive minima, we have if we are putting n is equal to 0, n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, any integral value. From here we can find sine theta 0 when n is equal to 0. This is lambda by 2a plus b. Okay, 2a plus b. And for sine theta 1, n is equal to 1, putting n is 1 here. This is 3 lambda by 2 into a plus b. Okay. And sine theta 2 is equal to 5 lambda by 2 into a plus b and so on. From here we can find the angular width of between the two conjunctive minima. Angular width between two conjunctive minima means width of maxima. Okay, we have to form this type of pattern. Okay, this is maxima, this is maxima, this is minima, this is minima. Angular width, we are finding this and this angular width. Okay, we are finding this angular width between two conjunctive minima. This is first minima. Okay, Angular width between these two minima gives the width of maxima. So actually we are finding the width of maxima. So here if sine theta 1 minus sine theta 0, this is equal to lambda by a plus b. And also if we are finding this minus this is also same. All fringes have same width, all maximas have same width. If we have to find the width of minima, then we have to find the directions of maxima and angular width between the two maxima. Angular width between two maxima gives the width of minima. So we can find here width of minima or width between two maxima, two conjunctive maxima. So that were also same. Width of conjunctive maxima and minima are same, lambda by a plus b. This is the equation for maxima. A plus b sine theta n is equal to n lambda. This is the equation for maxima. If we are putting n is equal to 1, then we have sine theta 1 is equal to lambda by a plus b, and sine theta 2 is equal to 2 lambda by a plus b. And we have to find the angular width between two maxima. Angular width between two maxima means width of minima. So this is sine theta 2 minus sine theta 1 is equal to lambda by a plus b, which is same. Okay, angular width of maxima and minima both are same, and all fringes have same width. Now the diffraction maxima and minima. Assume the secondary wave traveling in a direction making an angle phi. In case of interference, that is who are interfering, okay, that make an angle theta with the initial direction, and the rays which are diffracting, suppose that are making an angle phi. Okay, now the rays coming from C and D, suppose the rays coming from C and D have a path difference of df. Path difference of df. Now suppose from the triangle CDF, from the triangle CDF, okay, CDF, we have sine phi is equal to df by CD. Now we are talking about the diffraction phenomena from the single slit. Individual, here two slits are present, or diffraction is happen individual with individual slit. Okay, so first we have to find the path difference between the rays coming from the point C and D. The path difference between C and rays coming from C and D is df. Okay, so from the triangle CDF we have sine phi is equal to df by CD. CD is equal to A. CD is equal to A, width of the slit. So we have df is equal to A sine phi. Okay, this is the path difference between the rays coming from C and D and reaching at the point Q. Now if this df is equal to lambda, one wavelength, then we can divide df into two equal areas. Okay, in two equal areas, and both of upper half and lower half, both parts create a path difference of lambda by 2. Similarly, in case of single slit, okay, the fringe pattern in this case are formed similar. In case of single slit, all the process is same. Okay, again here we divide the slit into two equal parts, or both upper and lower half parts create a path difference of lambda by 2. Lambda by 2 path difference means phase difference of pi. Phase difference pi means minimum intensity. Okay, so this is the condition for minima. If this is equal to n lambda, then this is the condition for minima. In case of interference, this is the condition of maxima. In case of interference, if path difference is equal to n lambda, that is the condition of maxima. But in case of diffraction, if path difference is equal to n lambda, then this is the condition for minima. Here we can also find the angular width between the two maxima or minima. Between two minima, we have, if n is equal to 1, then a sine phi 1 is equal to lambda, or sine phi 1 is equal to lambda by a, and sine phi 2 is equal to lambda 2 lambda by a. Okay, this is first minima due to diffraction. This is second minima for diffraction. Okay, so we have to find the angular width between two conjunctive minima, means angular width of maxima. Okay, so sine phi 1 minus sine phi 2 is equal to lambda by a. This is the angular width of maxima, or angular width between two conjunctive minima. And in case of interference, the width of fringes is lambda by a plus b. This is for interference. This is the fringe width of interference fringe width, and this is diffraction fringe width. Diffraction fringe width is this. Of course, we can see clearly this is more than this. The fringe width of diffraction fringes, the fringe pattern made by diffraction is greater than fringes made by interference. Okay, so we can clearly see from here that if this is the fringe pattern due to diffraction, then interference fringes lies in between these fringes, such that like this. Okay, because fringe width of interference fringes is less than fringe width of diffraction fringes. Okay, so interference fringes lies in between the fringes of due to diffraction. Now the intensity distribution. The resultant intensity at any point Q due to interference of the secondary wave depends upon the path difference. Path difference is a plus b sine theta. Okay, for interfering rays or rays coming from two corresponding points, and corresponding phase difference, suppose this is 2 beta. For this path difference, the corresponding phase difference is suppose 2 beta, and we can write 2 beta is equal to 2 pi by lambda into the corresponding path difference is a plus b sine theta. Okay, this is the phase difference. And suppose y1 y2 be the displacement of the wave from the two slit. Okay, suppose y1 is the resultant of all wave from a single slit. y1 is the resultant of these are two slits. Okay, S1 S2, these are two slits. Suppose y1 is the resultant of all the rays coming from this slit, and y2 is the resultant wave vector of all the rays coming from this slit. And now we have to find the resultant vector of both of this. Okay, suppose this is y. Resultant of both of these wave vector is suppose y. So y1 is equal to A is the amplitude, okay, sine omega t, and y2 is equal to A sine omega t plus 2 beta. We are talking about at point the wave reaching at point Q, and at point Q the phase difference is 2 beta. Okay, phase difference is 2 beta between the y1 and y2, and A is the amplitude. A is the effective amplitude due to single slit. In last case of single slit, we have discussed this is the amplitude due to all the wave coming from a single slit, and its value is given by A is equal to A naught sine alpha by alpha. Okay, we have discussed this in the last video. Is equal to A naught sine alpha by alpha. A naught is the maximum amplitude reaching the rays reaching at the central point in the single slit. A naught is the amplitude at the central point. The rays reaching at the central point without diffraction, that have the maximum amplitude A naught. Here A is the amplitude due to this wave, and this is the resultant of all the wave coming from the single slit, and A is equal to this. Now the resultant displacement vector y1 plus y2, this is equal to, A is common, okay, A sine omega t plus sine omega t plus 2 beta. Okay, this is the resultant wave vector. Or by solving this, we have, this is 2A cos beta into sine of omega t plus beta. Okay, this is the resultant of y1 and y2. This is the moving part and this is the constant part. So this is volume of this is the amplitude of resultant wave vector. Resultant wave vector have this volume. Suppose this is A dash. A dash is equal to 2A cos beta, and we know A is what? A naught sine alpha by alpha. This is the value of A into cos beta. This is the resultant amplitude, effective amplitude in case of double slit. And intensity will be, to find the intensity, we have to square this. This is the resultant intensity. So this is the resultant intensity, and we can clearly see this part. This is same as for intensity in case of single slit. Okay, so this is the intensity due to diffraction. This correspond to the diffraction from the single slit, individual slit. And this is the extra term which is correspond to the interference fringes. This is in this term is correspond to the intensity due to interference. So this is the intensity distribution due to double slit. The outer fringes are due to diffraction, and inner fringes are due to interference fringes, are due to interference pattern. Okay, now some interference maxima are missing here. There are some order of interference maxima be absent if it correspond to the angle which also determine the minima of the single slit diffraction. Suppose this is the diffraction pattern. Okay, these fringes are due to diffraction. This is the minima due to diffraction, and we know interference fringes are lies in between this type. Okay, the maxima of interference in this region, this. Okay, this type. These maxima of the interference are missing because here the condition for diffraction minima is also satisfied. The angle for which the diffraction maxima and diffraction minima, the angle for which diffraction minima and interference maxima satisfied simultaneously. If at any angle the condition for minima of the diffraction and maxima of the interference are satisfied simultaneously, then these interference maxima are missing. This is minima totally. Okay, these maximas due to interference are missing in the pattern. So the direction for interference maxima is A plus B sine theta is equal to n lambda. This is the direction for interference maxima, or we have sine theta is equal to n lambda by A plus B. And suppose for the same angle, the diffraction minima is also happened, then condition for diffraction minima is A sine theta. Part difference for diffraction is, diffracted rays is this. Suppose this is n dash. Okay, n dash lambda. This is the condition for diffraction minima, and this is the condition for interference maxima, and both are happened at the same angle. Okay, both are happened at the same angle. Then we have from here sine theta is equal to this, and from here sine theta is equal to this. Equating these two equations, we have n lambda by A plus B is equal to n dash lambda by A. Lambda is cancelled out, and finally we have from here n is equal to n dash A plus B by A. Okay, this n is for interference and this n dash is for diffraction. If A and B are same, if the width of slit is equal to the separation between two slit, then we have this is equal to suppose 2A. Okay, this is equal to then 2A. This is cancel out, and we have n is equal to 2n dash. Okay, for the values of n dash is equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on, we have n is equal to 2, 4, 6 and so on. These values of interference maxima are missing from the pattern. Okay, from the intensity, these maxima are missing